On dais with me, Mr. Chetan, Honorable Sri Rai Sahab, our Devendra, Vice Chancellor of Ambedkar University, all the respected participants today from various universities, and the authorities and officers of the SHM, all the officers of the AIU, the people from the media. Today is the great day, though we were expecting Mr. Thadut to come over here and address the first session, but because of his busy schedule with Honorable PM, he could not come. Now this RUSA is a talk of almost all sessions I have attended in various parts of the country. The reason being, the first time passing over UGC limitations, the Government of India has taken up this step to support various states where the UGC recognition 12B, even 2F is not accessed, with the view that there are universities, at least 2/3 of the universities, they are not funded by the UGC. There are at least 80% of the institutions, rather 81% of the colleges, they are also not touched by the UGC. And the country cannot afford to ignore for a longer period. There must be some kind of attention on them. Now, we want to initiate Higher Education Council almost active in almost all states, though in South, leaving Andhra or Tamil Nadu, there are hardly any state where the Higher Education Council has got a very big role in those states. Now the RUSA total directions of the organizations and organizational logistics will promote these higher education councils. There will be autonomous activity of the Higher Education Council supported by the state governments. And then we have our universities in almost all states. Badly they are giving their output. Nobody can even think of those states where regular student disturbance, autonomy is totally crippled because of these disturbances. Then financial dependency of these universities is a very much, you can say, the cause of the quality and the access both are crippled. Though we wanted that the 80% total, even 94% of the population of the students in the higher education, they are confined to these state universities, only 6% in the central universities. The most of the funding of the UGC going to the central universities, while the new central universities, they are also coming up, but they are not as good as the state university in the past, because there are so many good state universities. They are covering more than 5 lakhs, 4 lakhs, even 6 lakhs. If you go in the Maharashtra, you can find university with the 800 colleges. Unless we are not giving them impetus financially, we cannot expect any kind of the quality in education. And quality in education must be very deterministic, because when quantity has gone to such a large, and we are expecting 30% GER within short period, unless we will not invest money, this quality will not improve. And the Government of India is serious, because this draft is a very serious draft. What the duration is 10 years until 2022. Sometime when we start anything, in the beginning it looks very attractive, but in duration of time, again it becomes just like a slow pace for improving the quality, access, or equity. So we have to go as a mission in this RUSA, as we have gone in various drives, and the entire country we have to involve because we should be very cautious. The coming generation is very young. The average age of India is 29. So most of the young men will be in the higher education. Unless we are not serious from the government, either state or the central government, the participants, because the governance, because this is all because of the poor governance in the universities. Since 14 years I am vice chancellor, not 1 or 2 years. Almost all authorities, all bodies I have served in this country after coming from America, and I have seen that the poor governance, in the shorter period of the vice chancellors in the universities, there's no a continuum of the legacy. The one person has made up some decisions left in the middle, and this is the reason why this quality and other things are, badly, suffering. This country, I'm not just talking that we are not having world-class universities, but have you seen any world-class university without Indians? I have been in America for many years, almost 6 years as a NASA scientist. I have seen that almost all universities are having the presence of very large population of Indians because they are paying the cost for the quality education. If we can have quality over here, they will remain over here, and we can have the world-class universities when we will give performance, because quality is a performance-oriented. When your presence will be in America, in European countries, of your own students, automatically they will also come over here. In the past, if you just go in the past, when the Nalanda, Takshashila, they were attracting foreign students, why not we can attract now? But we should have education as a mission. Not only it should lack financially, but the total governance of these universities must be carefully chalked out. There should be a complete autonomy, but also transparency in the selection of the governance of these universities. Today, I hope this our complete workshop for the whole day, our discussions and interactions will bring a lot of light on this drive. And I hope within 10 years, India will have certain number of the universities of the repute, not within 200, but at least they will be recognized, reckoned by the world over. Thank you very much.